So, what does a career in learning and development actually look like? Because if you've spent any time on LinkedIn, you would have seen a little bit of the highlights reel. Just launched a leadership program. Wow. Facilitated our value-based onboarding to 80 people. Amazing. And feeling so grateful to do this work. Blessed. And honestly, I love that for them. I love to hear those stories because that is absolutely sprinkled in the job. But let's also talk about what doesn't make the feed. Like getting a Slack message at 5:42 p.m. to say, hey, can you quickly put together a training on accountability for us? Or L&D does compliance, right? I haven't seen anything else. Or walking out of a meeting when you were finally brave enough to push for strategy only to hear, why are you asking us those questions? Yeah, those things. And every single one of those examples are real life examples. So a career in learning and development isn't always what it looks like on the outside. But in this video, we are pulling back the curtain. We're going to talk about what those job descriptions don't tell you about, why this field is so often misunderstood, and what it really takes to lead in this space, not just survive it. Okay, let's get started. Section 1 is all about the fantasy versus reality. Many people think L&D is about making learning fun. We're the engaging workshop people, the Canva/Articulate Rise /Excel juggler, the ones who get tagged at the last minute for a quick presentation, a team day, or something interactive. But the real story, L&D is deeply complex. It's reactive when we're trying to be proactive. It's political. You are working with unclear briefs, tight budgets, and goals that shift every time someone even breathes near a whiteboard. You are tasked to solve everything from performance issues to cultural problems. And sometimes in the form of a 1-hour Zoom session with no context. And when you finally try to step up strategically, you get hit with, just give us the training. That worked in my last company, my personal favorite. And let's not overcomplicate this. And still, you care. You want to build something meaningful. You actually want to help people grow. But that gap between what you know is possible and what the organization sees, that gap is real and it is exhausting. With that, we're moving into section 2. Why is this field so misunderstood? And here's what I want you to know. This confusion doesn't come from incompetence. It comes from the way people enter this field. And I'll explain. Almost no one grows up thinking, I want to be a learning and development specialist when I grow up. And so many people fall into this field. That's the phrase I hear most often. I fell into learning and development. And while I am an outsider in this, I actually grew up in learning and development. People come from everywhere. Brilliant engineers, customer service managers, sales consultants, finance specialists, marketing folks, and yes, some people from HR. I have trained people from almost every function. Early in my career, here were some of my colleagues: a lawyer, a control and automation engineer, a CA, chartered accountant, an operations director, a sales consultant, and yes, someone from HR. Now look, I'm not saying HR is the problem. What I am saying is that HR and learning and development are not the same thing. And often senior HR folk get handed L&D as part of their portfolio, but they've never worked in learning. They've never built a development program. They've never even scoped a capability model. So you've got leaders making decisions about learning without understanding what effective strategic L&D is. And this is not malice. This is just a gap. What's common between all these people I just listed is that they care. They care deeply about people, about growth, about potential. And that is why I love supporting learning and development professionals. You are in it because you want people to do well. And I want you to do well. Okay, now we're moving into the meatiest part of this video. What does learning and development actually do? And we're going to dig in deep into what an L&D career involves. But I might just disappoint you because this isn't going to be a nice little list. Because honestly, it depends. In some organizations, you have a huge team with very clearly defined roles, often doing just one part of learning and development. And in others, it's just you. You're doing it all. Instructional design, LMS, learning management system administrator, facilitator, tech support, event planner, strategist, coach, you name it, you do it. So here's what the work actually involves. One of the most commonly known aspects of L&D is instructional design. And no, you're not just creating slides or putting some content into Articulate Rise. You're defining outcomes, you're structuring learning pathways, designing experiences that work across modalities and different activities and attention spans. You're aligning every module to what the business needs and still trying to make it engaging enough so that people don't do death by next and actually read what you've written. Then there's content development, which can be slightly different. Sometimes you're writing, scripting, animating, uploading, all before 2 p.m. You're creating playbooks and toolkits and videos, microlearnings and printable PDFs, often at the same time. Then, of course, there's facilitation. Whether it's in person, online, or hybrid, you're reading the room, managing those awkward silences, balancing the extroverts and introverts, and keeping things moving while still delivering value. You're managing in real time the tech failures, the difficult questions, and that one person that just came to complain. And yes, this involves my most embarrassing moment. If ever you want to see that, it's a story for another day. Then there's program management, and this isn't about launching one workshop. You're scheduling, managing vendors, dealing with registration logistics, communicating with stakeholders, gathering feedback, updating slides, re-recording audio perhaps, and prepping reports. Then there's performance consulting. And to me, this isn't an activity that you do in isolation. This should be the entire way you approach working in learning and development. It's the underlying how we work. And one aspect is that you're asking the questions that no one else is, which is not what course do you need, and it is what problems are we solving. You identify that root cause. You suggest alternatives and you push back hard when training is not the answer. All right, next is stakeholder management. You are dealing with people up, down, and sideways. In fact, I have an entire video just on this, so watch it. I promise you, it's going to help a lot. You're aligning with executives. You are calming down subject matter experts and getting them to cooperate. You're educating managers on how to actually support learning back on the job. This work is 80% relationships and 20% deliverables. Yeah, I'm not exaggerating. Then there's technology, the learning management system administration. You're curating the digital content. You're helping with the integrations, pulling reports, and troubleshooting. So much troubleshooting. This person is often referred to as the HRIS. Then what kind of L&D person would I be if I don't mention data? So about the measurement and the metrics. And here you're not just pulling survey results. You're connecting learning to behavior change, performance improvements, and often without clear data in the systems. But we'll leave that for another day. Then, of course, comes capability building, using capability frameworks like my capability house. You're defining the skills needed across roles, levels, functions. You are defining the business-wide capability needs. And of course, there's change enablement. Every change initiative touches people. And if it touches people, L&D must be involved, whether you're invited or not. You'll possibly be writing the communications. You'll definitely be rolling out the training, and you'll be helping the team survive the transformation. Lastly, there's culture and community. You're creating the spaces where people feel connected and safe to learn. You're building those mentorship programs, even internal communications, peer learning, and just generally making work suck less. And you might be doing all of this and still getting emails that say, hey, can you run a quick soft skills training for us next week? Yeah, you're not crazy for feeling like your work is not fully seen. You're just stuck in a system that hasn't evolved as fast as you have. So how do we change that? And that leads me into section 4, which is the impact of learning and development. And this is why you cannot stay in reactive mode. This is why you cannot just keep making content and hope for the best. Because when learning and development is done right, you attract and retain the right people. You build real capability at every level. You make high performance possible. You increase agility and spark innovation. And you elevate the employee experience from day one. That's the 5-spoke impact model, and it is included in the Learning and Development Impact Toolkit, which also includes my Infinity Loop, which covers what we do, and the Learning and Development Impact Checklist. All of that is designed to help you have better conversations with the business, so you can show your value without needing to hire a performance theater. And it's free, because if you're not ready to invest in the Talent Development Academy quite yet, you've got to do something. And this is the something you've got to do. So download the toolkit and start building your confidence straight away. Okay, so section 5, what comes next? If you are ready, because you are tired of spinning your wheels, tired of waiting for someone else to develop you, tired of knowing that you are capable of so much more, but you just don't know where to begin, then the Talent Development Academy is for you. This program will make you a more strategic learning and development business partner. It absolutely will give you the tools, the frameworks, the language, and the community to move you forward in your learning and development career. And it absolutely will shift how you show up at work, because we are not just here to tick boxes. We are here to lead. So grab the toolkit, explore the academy, or message me. No pressure, just a real conversation. Because truth be told, this isn't about a job. This is about your career. And learning and development, it's a calling. It speaks to our hearts. And we are done being quiet about that. And hey, there's no other way to say this, but we're friends now. I'll see you in the next one.